In a world that is full of misery, oppression, loneliness, and pain, can just one person make a difference? Can even one boy make a difference? Let's listen to the story. Good day, everyone. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, tells us this story. It's about a king who had a magician, and the magician grew old. So the magician comes to the king and says, I need a little boy, a smart one, a very smart, special boy. So I would teach him magic, so he will take my place when I die. Why did old kingdom kings have those magicians? You see, when a kingdom is ruled with oppression, you need to startle the people. You need to show them surprising things. They need to feel that the king has these special powers. Maybe in our world today, rulers do not need magicians anymore because they have the magic of media. But the magician, who's obviously a disbeliever, wants to continue the lineage of magic. So how come a magician who is the aid of an oppressor wants to see magic continue in this world for the purpose of oppression, and the faithful and the believers are not doing the same steps to see that the lineage of faith and righteous living continue in this world? Anyway, so the king finds a suitable boy. He takes him from his family and he tells them, your son will learn magic. He will have a great future. He will be my aide when he learns magic well. The boy goes to the magician every day at a specific time to take his magic lesson. But on the way to the magician, the boy passes by a little house. He hears hymns and prayers coming from the house. He stops at the door and listens. He asks the old man inside, what are you doing? This is like prayer. Who are you worshipping? You see, the people in the kingdom did not worship God. But this one hermit, who was a Christian monk, was worshipping the one God. He was letting go of everyone around him, sitting in his little house, worshipping alone. He's like so many of us, sitting in our house, doing nothing to the society to salvage it and save its soul, but worshipping God alone. Maybe the hermit thought that he cannot make any difference. Maybe he was afraid that if they knew about him, he will be persecuted. So he thought, I will worship God alone. But the kid was so persistent. He keeps asking and asking until he has to confess. He tells him, I'm worshiping God. Now the kid starts learning from him. He says, I want to understand. I want to know. He goes first to the monk, to the hermit. He stays with him, and then he goes to the magician. So he's learning both now. When he reaches the magician, he's late. So the magician is beating him. Why are you late for your lesson? He tells the hermit. So the hermit says, if he asks you about the magician, tell him your parents delayed you. If your parents are asking you, why are you coming back late? Tell them the magician delayed you. So it gives you a little bit of understanding for the personality of the hermit and the level of danger that is surrounding somebody who believes in God in that environment. The boy keeps learning from both. Now he knows magic and he knows about faith. And those two, they do not mix well together in a human heart. One day, he's going his way to the hermit and then to the magician. But in a crossroads, he finds people afraid, and there's a beast. It's roaring at them. It's causing terror. Nobody can do anything to the beast. They're afraid. So the boy says, yes, this is the moment I was waiting for. He picks up a rock from the ground and he prays to God. He says, oh God, if the hermit was right, make this rock kill this beast. The boy understands that magic is just a matter of deceit, but real things come from the real creator. He's praying to God. He's still not fully believing. He wants to be sure. So it tells us all something. If you are still not sure, you can still pray to God. You can pray to Him to show you the way. You can pray to Him to increase your faith. You can pray to Him to make you confident and strong. The boy throws the rock at the beast, and the beast drops dead. Now everybody hails the boy. The boy now is no more a magician. He's just worshipping the one God. He starts showing miracles. He starts healing people. News about what the boy can do spreads all over the place. The boy can heal people. One day, in the king's court, one of the king's friends loses his eyesight. The king's friend learns about the boy who heals. He goes to the boy, getting many presents with him, valuable things, and he says, all of this is for you if you heal me. But the boy says, I do not heal anyone. I just believe in the one God. If you believe in the one God, I will pray to Him that He heals you. It gives you an idea what is happening in the heart of the boy. He's not into this for fame and fortune. He's not healing people so that they point at him. This is the boy who heals. The man says, I will believe in God. Please pray for me. And the boy prays to God to give him back his eyesight. And his eyesight returns to him. The king's friend goes to the king's court. And the king notices that now he can see. He asks him, what happened to you? How come you can see? He says, my Lord has healed me. He returned my eyesight to me. He says, what do you mean? Who is your Lord? Now, the king's friend knows what kind of king he's talking to. He wants to protect the boy. But the king runs crazy when he sees that he believes in a God. He wants everyone to worship idols. You know, the king was claiming that he was even son of God and a God himself. He tortures his friend until his friend tells that it is the boy who has healed him. One day, the hermit told the boy, after he killed the beast, today you are better than me. One day, you will be tested. And when you are tested, do not tell them about me. The hermit knows his level. When you have faith inside you, you're humble. When you see somebody who is at a higher level, you know that he is at a higher level. This is an area of life where excellence can be achieved very fast if you have sincerity in your cause. The king brings the boy. He says, boy, You're now a great magician. You're healing people. You healed my friend. The boy could have said, yes, it is great magic that I have learned from the magician. But he says, no, it is not magic. I pray to God, and God heals people. He knows the consequence of this statement, but still, he says. The king starts torturing the kid. How come you learned about God? Who taught you these heretic things? The kid, being a kid, at some point says, I have learned from the monk. I have learned from the hermit. They bring the hermit. They torture him and torture him. Denounce God. Become a disbeliever. Believe in our idols. Believe that the king is the Son of God. But now the hermit, who was hiding for all of his life, is faced with a choice. And he takes the right choice. He says no. They bring a saw. They put it at the top of his head. And they start sawing. They cut him into 2 pieces until he falls apart. But he doesn't disbelieve. He dies faithful to God. He dies as a Christian martyr. Now the king brings his friend. You know, when you pass a certain red line as an oppressor, you just keep going deeper. He brings in his friend. He wants to kill this mutiny. He says, now I will do to you what I did to the hermit. Don't think that because you're my friend I will not do it. You denounce God or you will die like him. But the guy says no. He kills him in the same horrible way that he killed the hermit. Now the king has a reputation that he does not want to lose. He does not want people to say he's torturing a little kid. So he doesn't kill the kid in this horrible way because he will lose his reputation. How come a God, a son of God, kills a little kid with a saw? He tells the guards, take him to the mountain, and at the top, if he doesn't denounce God, throw him from the top and let's get rid of him. They take him to the mountain. The kid goes peacefully. And when they reach the top, he prays to God, oh God, save me from them in the way that you choose. An earthquake happens. The mountain shakes. And while they were preparing to push him, they fall off the top. Now the kid could run away. But the kid knew that this path that he has gone through is not by accident. He knows that he has got this knowledge for a cause, that he can make a difference. He walks back peacefully to the court. He enters the court. The king says, what happened to you? Where are the guards? He said, I prayed to God. And they died. The king goes ballistic. This is a scandal. The king and his army cannot kill a little kid. This will now be a big problem. He brings another set of guards. This now needs to happen very far away from the eyes of everyone. He says, take the kid, take a boat, and in the middle of the sea, if he doesn't denounce God, throw him in the water and let's get rid of him. They take the kid. And in the middle of the water, the kid prays to God. Oh God, please save me the way that you want. A storm happens. And the boat flips. The guards with their weapons drown. The boy goes back to shore. Peacefully, he walks back to the king. Now the king is totally out of his mind. So the kid looks at the king and says, stop trying. You will not kill me this way. He says, so what will I do? So the boy says, the only way that you can kill me is that you gather everyone in the city, in the big square, and there you kill me yourself. But you will not be able to kill me, except if you say, in the name of the God of the boy. And then you shoot the arrow. Now the king has this choice. You know, when you challenge the authority of oppression, there is this level of stupidity that takes them to the limit of their destruction. The king does exactly what the boy tells him. He wants to get rid of the boy, because everyone in the city already knows the story. He's afraid that people will convert if he leaves the boy running around, because they will say the king failed. The boy defeated the kingdom. So maybe just killing the boy in whichever way possible is better for the kingdom, in his opinion. On that day, he brings the kid. He crucifies him to a tree. He takes the arrow. He might have thought, maybe I should not say the words. But then he thinks, if I do not say the words and I shoot and he doesn't die, it will be a scandal and everybody will believe. So I will say what he told me. He says, in the name of the Lord of the boy. And he shoots. It just scratches the boy. But once the boy is scratched, he dies. Now everyone has heard that the king mentioned the name of the one God. The boy was martyred, but everyone in the square believed now in God. The king was even more crazy. The advisors of the king said, this is what we have warned you about. Now everything that we worked for has gone in vain. They are all now believing. We killed one boy, and now what will we do? Yes, the boy lost his life, but he saved the entire kingdom. Will the king stop at this point? No. He commands the guards to make these ditches in crossroads. Everybody who is passing by, they stop him. Do you believe in the king's idols, or do you believe in God? And he says, I believe in God. They throw him in the ditch, which is fired up. They keep killing and killing and killing. All the believers were thrown in the fire, until one woman was captured. She has her little baby in her hands. They put her at the edge of the ditch, and the fire is blazing. Will you denounce God? She looks to the baby. She's afraid that the baby will die. And a miracle happens. The baby speaks, and he says, don't be afraid, Mom. And she jumps in the fire. And she did not denounce God. The story of the people who died in the ditch after many, many years was mentioned in the Quran in a chapter specifically for them called Al-Buruj. And guess what happened? Caesar in Rome knows about what happened to that kingdom. It is said that the said kingdom was in Yemen. He orders the vassal king of Ethiopia to go and rescue the Christians of Yemen. And Ethiopia sends an army and conquers Yemen, which now becomes a Christian state. And the believers will now worship God in the kingdom. So, the one boy made a difference. The one hermit made a big difference by teaching the boy. The blind man made a difference when he stood strong. When it is time for the test and you stand strong, God gives you the strength. We are all going to die. This is not the question. The question is, on our deathbed, what kind of life will we look back and remember? Will we remember a life where we sat on the couch and watched TV? Or will we remember a life where we stood for what we believed in? Until when are you going to know the truth, but keep it inside your heart and not help others? This is a call for everyone who's watching this video to rescue as much people as he can, to deliver the message of the one God in this godless world. Because, you know, we are all going to die at the end. So let's make this one life count. Thank you very much.